And welcome back to this week's Who Would Win. Now, this week's Who Would Win, I remembered to look it up just to be certain I didn't get it wrong, is brought to you by ProdigyX Beast. Giving you all the ProdigyX Beast needs. I can't think of anything clever about that off the top of my head. But yeah, this one comes from ProdigyX Beast, so you requested this, I'm giving it to you. Props to you. So this week's, it's Batman versus Magneto, and he asked for the battle to be with prep. Now, to be fair, I'm going to do two versions. One without prep, one with prep. But before I can go into any of that, we need to go into our combatants. And Batman I already did in the last video, so I'll just go over briefly. 6'2", 210 pounds, peak physical human being. Intelligent, I believe he has 12 master's degrees, master over 127 martial arts, technology, batarangs, all at the yin-yang. Normally Kevlar and titanium armor. Sticky grenades, bomb, a Batmobile. He's got all his tech, so he's Batman. So that's not anything really to go over again. I'll go over him again though when we're doing a prep battle. That's different. So then we have Magneto. This is what I'm going to be taking a lot of the time on. So 1 second. So Magneto. Now age-wise, I didn't bother with their ages. He's definitely he's older, but he's also physically quite in shape. His aging has been slowed considerably. He's still relatively in decent shape. Now he's 6'2", like Batman, but weighs not 190. He weighs 20 pounds less than Batman. As always, his main power is he's a master of magnetism. He manipulates magnetic fields. Magneto, obviously that means his famous ability is manipulating metal. And he's so skilled with this, he can manipulate ferrous metals, and I believe I'm getting that name right. And essentially what those are is he can manipulate non-magnetic metals with like copper or gold or silver. He can actually manipulate those. That's how skilled he is with those. While not magnetic, they still conduct electricity, which is a subset of magnetism, or magnetism is a subset of electricity. Interpret that as you will. So he's capable of doing that. But again, among other things, he's capable of creating a magnetic shield, which has been used to stop nuclear explosions. He can survive in the vacuum space with it to a certain degree. He's got a magnetic armor, which basically it's like he embeds his skin in armor, which is already durable, pretty durable, with his with magnetism, and it basically gives it a durability on par, but not as strong as adamantium. That's pretty damn hard. He's also surprisingly, he's an accomplished hand-to-hand combatant, though he's no master or anything. He's had military training. He's an expert strategist, among other things. Now, he can fly to a certain degree. Metal bonding, which can bond metal with things like water or wood. Bond metal with things that would normally not be bonded to. Then it has organic ore manipulation, which essentially is what you see in X-Men 2, where he pulls the iron out of the guy's body for a various effect, but he needs concentration for that. So it's not really in his wheelhouse per se, but that he'll normally do, but he'll do it if he can. Then we have his ability, he can create force fields around things to levitate non-magnetic objects, like say a tree or a person or something like that. So even non-magnetic things are still vulnerable to him. He's literally done things like lifted an island thanks to the iron ore in the island. He's stopped a giant metal bullet several light years away with heavy forms of concentration to do that. Now he's capable of, because of magnetism being a subset of electricity, he's basically capable of shooting electricity as well as absorbing electricity, electromagnetic radiation, infrared, UV, gamma. He's capable of many things on the spectrum. However, because that's not in his normal realm of powers, he has to really focus, and it's very taxing on his body. So he doesn't really go to them as much as he could. He focuses on, in fact, I think I don't think he forgets, but he really doesn't think to use them. If you've ever noticed in a lot of his fights, he doesn't use it very much. He'll maybe just avoid or absorb a lightning strike to, prevent himself from being hit by a lightning strike. Now, a couple other abilities to note on, if I just want to make sure I'm on the right stuff. military training, indomitable will, just like Batman. He's an extremely high-powered willed individual. And but he's kind of arrogant in his own regards. He doesn't trust men. He hates men, really. Homo sapiens, to be specific. If we're going to be specific, it's Homo sapiens, not necessarily a man, but Homo sapiens. And so he is prone to aggressive bursts of rage because of his dealings with the Holocaust and things like that. If you've ever actually watched Magneto, he is very rage-fueled. But his biggest weakness is the fact that he is susceptible to fatigue. And his powers don't work as well if he's fatigued. If he's actually really injured, his powers will not function correctly, and it makes him vulnerable. He's also got some mild mental protection, but that's why he wears the helmet to offset that. But Batman's probably not going to be using that even with prep time. So I'm just going over my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything here. So let's see. Force field. Yep. Magnetic rays. Oh yeah, magnetic rays. He can basically sound like kind of like a magnetic shockwave. Yeah, I mean that is more or less the extent of his powers. But I'm obviously missing some things, obviously. But the point in matter is that he is, without a doubt, he's an alpha. He was, and technically still is at points, an alpha level mutant, which is the highest you go. Actually, no, it's alpha and then it's omega. Omega's higher than alpha, but he's second from the top. He is among the top tier individuals on the planet to even in certain storylines fight on par with the likes of Apocalypse. That's what I got you with. So there you go. So let's just get out of the way right now. In a non-prep battle, Batman is more than likely, in fact, not even more likely, he's almost certainly going to lose the fight because it's going to come down. Batman maybe throws a batarang, finds Magneto, throws a batarang. Magneto just goes, just throws him. Batman's just going to try a few more things. Smoke grenade, hide. Magneto's going to find him because he's got titanium in his bat suit. He's just going to grab him and just maybe Batman throws some plastic explosive. That might distract Magneto, but it's not going to save Batman's ass, and Batman gets his ass handed to him. I don't think Batman would kill him, though, or Magneto would kill him, though. In fact, I think he'd even respect his resourcefulness as a human being to even kind of go toe-to-toe with him on that regard. So, yeah, Batman loses in a non-prep fight. Let's get that out of the way. Because there's no feasible scenario where Batman wins. Because let's say he surprises Magneto. Magneto's really going to have his magnetic armor up most of the time. Batman tries to hit him. He's going to punch something near the strength of adamantium that even for Batman might break his hand. And it's like, oh. So yeah, that's non-prep Batman. Now a prepped Batman is a different story. Now when we say prepped, we gotta think that Batman has been studying him like he knows Superman. He's going to be studying. He's going to probably know the vast majority of his tricks in trade, probably including like probably his energy absorption to a degree, maybe even the organic metal manipulation. So more or less, he's going to know most of his tricks. Now going into this fight, it's kind of going to be like Batman's versus Superman a little bit, where he's going to maybe call Magneto out in some way, shape, or form. So Magneto's going to meet there and meet him in a certain place. Now, he's going to more than likely come. He's going to come with the Batmobile. I'll tell you why when I start the fight. He's going to come with a Batmobile. His Batsuit is going to be made of non-magnetic materials. More than likely, it's going to be made of like some ceramic plating, maybe some Kevlar, because Kevlar is not magnetic itself, as far as I know. And probably like some hard rubber gauntlets too for shock blows and basically to disrupt electrical patterns because rubber's not magnetic or electrically conductive, so it would definitely probably help him. Now I do believe he'd probably have something along the line of electric grenades to kind of short his electrical field to a degree. I think that because if it might be electricity, he might be able to absorb it, but if he's not expecting it, and he's got an electric field up, electricity and magnetism, those two will not counter each other. Those two will short one another out. Those two will phase the other out, and then he's got to bring up his field again. But it would give Batman an edge. He'd almost certainly have like plastic explosive, again non-magnetic, as well as a putty gun like he did in The Dark Knight, if you remember that. He probably have some gas. He definitely have gas grenades, smoke grenades. His bat suit probably has like non-metallic, non-magnetic weaponry, like maybe a couple, like his gauntlets themselves, not just hard rubber, probably have like some hard plastic or something to that. And the lights, I'm losing a lot of light here. Fortunately, the screen's making my face glow, fortunately. So that's good. Actually, I'm wondering, 1 second, if I can get some more light doing this. Oh, I can. 1 second, we're just going to move over here a little bit. There we go. So there, get more light. That's good. So, what else? I just want to be sure the everything I wrote on here. Yeah, plastic explosive. And, one other thing I feel like he would have on him is his suit, I feel, would actually have its own, like, magnetic field generator, but because he's Batman and he analyzes things, it would be designed to counteract the magnetic field of Magneto. So I don't think it would be a permanent fix, because I do believe Magneto would eventually manipulate the field itself and maybe crush the device. But because I don't think his force field. I mean, his force field can conceal him from a vacuum. But at the same time, if he's already, like, say, injured or something, I don't believe the field will be weakened and, like, things like gas can escape through. So yeah, Batman comes into this a whole lot of different prep. Now, the way I see the prep fight going down is like this. The way the prep fight goes down is that Magneto's probably already maybe running amok. Maybe Batman's called him out, but maybe he's just kind of doing his thing, trashing his city. It's like mutant supremacy or whatnot. It's like puny Homo sapiens. Then he hears the rumbling of something. He's like, it's like a tank. Then he notices the Batmobile tank, or like either the Arkham Knight tank, the Batman vs. Superman tank, or the Dark Knight Returns style tank. I'm going to say we'll go with the Arkham Knight one, because that seems like the most combat efficient one. That actually still seems like a Batmobile. So that comes rolling up. And he stops it, and then he just, it's like puny toys. But the moment he gets it near his level, he notices the gun's still aimed at him, and then Batman, hiding, fires. And Magneto's just going to be like, huh, and then it's like, boom, what the, boom, boom. There'll be rubber bullets. Because Batman uses rubber bullets. I mean, he'll use tactical missiles too, but he'll use rubber bullets. And that's going to throw Magneto for a fucking loop, because like, what the because it doesn't conduct electricity, and I don't think he's not going to expect that, because he's just going to be like, and then what? And doo-doo-doo-doo. He might even get a couple of hits in his mask, and while he's probably not going to be seriously hurt, it's taking him by surprise and stunning him. That's when he drops the Batmobile. The Batmobile is probably on its side at this point, probably temporarily out of commission. Batman then decides to go the route of firing grenades at him, boom, 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 while he's distracted. A couple of them probably do stick, and I'm talking about the sticky, like, plastic explosive grenade. And then Magneto sees, he's like, what? Boom, down on the ground, falls, he's just injured. Now Magneto's actually injured at this point, because he was thrown for a loop for that, and the explosions definitely rattled him, I think. That's where Batman comes in. Now remember, all his equipment for this has to be non-magnetic. So he comes in, probably with a non-magnetic version of his grappling hook. Comes in and just boom, whams on him with his metal gloves. Because he's already kind of shaken, his armor probably wavers a bit. But Magneto's still Magneto. Magneto ain't going down without any shortage of a fight. Magneto then just tries to get Batman. Nothing on his suit seems to be magnetic, so instead he just throws the Batmobile at Batman. Batman backflips off a building while the Batmobile crashes into a building. Throws some sticky grenades at him. He brings up his magnetic field again. Boom. Okay, that does nothing. So he starts throwing batarangs at him. The batarangs start bouncing off, and then Magneto just starts throwing things at Batman. All the while, Batman's just getting ready for his next take. Throws smoke on the ground. Large layer of smoke goes out in the field. Now, Magneto can't sense Batman per se, even though he's going to try to focus on him. But he's already somewhat messed up, so his powers aren't going to be 100%. Now, that being said, I don't think he's going to be anywhere near defeated at this point, but he's going to be weakened. So let's say he's operating like maybe around 80% at this point. So he's still pretty good, but that I think would throw the whole organic manipulation out of the field play, because that does require some focus. And it's not something he normally does. So the organic manipulation, that's out of the picture at the moment. So but he's still just, where are you? So he starts maybe throwing up sewer pipe or something like that. Batman's already planning his next thing because he's Batman. Now let's be clear, Magneto, as far as I can tell, doesn't sense electrical energies in people. He can sense magnetic fields. And Batman probably hasn't turned his on, and probably hasn't activated his yet. So he's going to just come up behind him. However, something's going to hint, I think, Magneto onto him. He's going to have a force field up. And he's going to throw he's going to throw another grenade at him. This time, Magneto catches it and say a force field. Just you. It's like you are very stupid. You're either very brave or very stupid. It's like, yeah, I get that a lot, or something like that. It's like it's funny. Or something. I actually, for some reason, I hear Peter Weller's voice coming out of this, like, from Dark Knight Returns, the animated movie. It's like it's funny as those things sometimes coincide. Kind of a Jack Sparrow line. Activates the grenade. This time it's an electrical grenade, which shorts out at least the force field that it's holding it, blows up a little bit, and probably even wavers Magneto's force field ever so slightly. That's when Batman comes in, rushes in, just boom, boom, starts a bit of a fist fight with him. And even though he's still durable, I don't think he's nigh adamantium level durable anymore. So now he's kind of taking some hits, but still relatively okay. Trying to fight off Batman, but let's be clear, Batman's the superior fighter in terms of hand-to-hand combat. That's the way that works. So Batman's going to start wailing on him, He gets his magnetic field back up. This now, Batman activates his from a little thing on his glove, just boom, and they collide. And they collide. Now, because he's close to him, he's still going to be inside his magnetic field. And now Magneto's going to be like, what? Starts hitting on him again, all the while dealing more and more damage to Magneto. Now, that being said, Magneto eventually, let's say Magneto's physicality is down to about 60-55 at this point. Batman's been wailing on him for quite some time. Batman's also a younger man in comparison to Magneto, even though Magneto's still very physically fit. So now we're down to this. So Magneto now pissed, actually decides to, with Batman throwing maybe another grenade, decides to actually utilize electricity for a change. Pissed, throws it back at him. Batman blocks it, but because there's so much power from it, it throws him back. Maybe wrecks some shit up on him. So Batman's now a bit thrown for a look, gets back up. Now Magneto summon like pipes and everything from everywhere. But again, tired and fatigued. Let's say, again, if it takes a lot of energy for him to do it, it probably worsens his fatigue. He's probably now down to maybe like a 45%. And it's interesting to look at Magneto from a percentile scale on this. Because, using energies that aren't just strictly magnetism do take a lot out of him. So he's going to take the pipes, he's going to wrap around Batman. Batman's going to be like stuck now. It's like, Magneto's just going to hold him there. Just hold him there. Just maybe have a conversation similar like, yes, you're very... I give you props. No normal human could take me on. It's like, whatever. So Batman's probably going to say something. It's like, he starts maybe squeezing on Batman. His armor can only take so much. Batman's still going to have his ace in the hole, which is the Batmobile. Because the Batmobile might be wrecked, but it's not destroyed. So it's like, so Batman maybe just says something along the lines of, it's like, any found no words to put on your tombstone or something like that. I can't do a good Magneto right now. He's like, just one, duck. Just boop. And all of a sudden, and Magneto just suddenly hears, huh? All the flurry of remaining rubber bullets just go towards Magneto, who's completely taken off guard by this. Well, not completely, but he'll be like, Batman then suddenly it probably uses something along the lines of his plastique to blow up the piping around him. It's going to hurt him a bit, but he's protected for this, so he's going into the fight. He's already armored, so he's taking some mild damage himself, but he's still willing to go, because they're both have indomitable will. Batman will not stop until he's dead or the opponent is defeated. So he's now there, just, and now he's just getting ready. The Batmobile's still firing the rubber bullets. They're hitting. He's slowly draining his health, kind of like a video game, honestly. Finally, Magneto just crushes it and basically just decides to smash the Batmobile in. Now he's struggling because he's probably now like at 35 to 30% of his energy. But he's struggling with the Batmobile. He's going to toss it where now Batman's gone and smoke suddenly, there's giant smoke grenades suddenly just where are you? Where are you? And then we get like the Christmas here. No, but she's like, where are you? All of a sudden, you just hear the boom, 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 boom. Just, what? And all of a sudden, he sees the ground littered with plastic explosives that man shot out. Just boom, 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 boom. Explosions. Just now Magneto's reeling. His force field's wavering. He's probably down to like 20%. He's just. And then Batman just comes right from behind him and just boom! The helmet goes off. Yeah, he goes reeling back. He's trying to manipulate stuff, but he's having such difficulty he can't anymore. And then Batman goes in for the final gut punch. Knocks him out, knocks him flat out. Magneto's sitting there wavering and unconscious. And of course the famous line, "What are you?" "I'm Batman." And I do believe that Batman will win it the majority of the time, which is not going to be a great deal because Magneto, I think, is honestly, it can go many ways, but I think majority-wise, it's going to be something a little similar to Batman versus Superman, Dark Knight Returns, but without the help, because I think Magneto's powers are much more specifically inclined to be countered. However, it's not an easy fight for Batman, and an alternate version, the way Magneto, I'm certain, could win is if he somehow knew about Batman. Because let's be clear, these fights are usually what's the most realistic scenario. In a prep fight, Magneto's probably never actually heard of Batman in a prep fight. If Magneto has ever heard of Batman, and even Batman comes to prep, he'll more than likely just keep the Batmobile on standby, which Batman could probably self-destruct. But to throw it at Batman, they'll probably just keep trying to tie him up, and eventually he'll get to him and probably start to manipulate he doesn't have enough iron in his bloodstream to really do the whole Ian McKellen thing from X2. I'm pretty certain. But he would more than likely do something along the lines of probably using force fields to rip his armor off and then just throw him down the ground, and just, beat the living snot out of him. But I would say that Batman probably takes it 60%. Either 55 or 60% of the time. It's not a close fight for Batman, though. Batman kind of narrows out a victory, I think, just because of over amount of prep. But it's not a close fight, I don't think. Especially in our scenario, if that magnetic field generator I talked about is activated, then you could just fall back and just manipulate that magnetic field. Now, because Batman, I would believe, calibrate to counteract his magnetic field, but he can't calibrate to not be manipulated by someone who can control magnetism. So, yeah, that's my thought on that. I believe Batman wins, scoots out a victory we'll even go 55% of the time. I think it's a close fight, but Batman just ekes out a victory just for enough prep time, and Magneto having specific enough abilities to actually develop counters for, plus having powers actually tied to his physical being. Because the weaker he gets, the weaker his actual, physically, the weaker his actual powers get, apparently. So yeah, that fight came from ProdigyX Beast. Thank you for the suggestion. If he or you or anyone has any other ideas for who would win, by all means, put them in the comments. I love getting these ideas because it means it's less I have to write down to do. Instead, I just have to go off the ideas that people give me to help do it. Don't get me wrong, I got a list of them still waiting on my notebook, but if I don't have to, if I get a request to do one instead of just doing one from that list, it gives me more to do instead of having to think up more on the fly when I get down to the last few on the list. So it's very beneficial when people actually suggest ones for me to do, and I appreciate that very much. And man, it got dark. I'm glad the screen illuminates me well enough to actually be on screen. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. So, I guess my Star Wars video is the episode 8 thing I just had. So, I'll actually have another video up tomorrow, a special video that I'm going to be starting doing weekly. Just one a week. And I'll also have a review probably for the 5th wave up tomorrow. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time, folks.